Hiya guys, how's it going? Super B 1996 here, and today I've got a Final Fantasy 15 discussion video, and that is on the topic on if Final Fantasy 15 fails to please consumers and gamers alike. Now, I'm doing this video because this is always a possibility that we do need to consider, and the reality of it, Square Enix could still screw up this game. Now, we've learned from Final Fantasy that hopefully they should have learned from their mistakes from Final Fantasy 15, from 13, and yeah, hopefully Final Fantasy 15 doesn't flop. Now I'm just going to talk about the aftermath if Final Fantasy 15 doesn't do well, and that is what happens to the franchise. Now, the Final Fantasy 15 franchise was tainted a bit by 13, and it was tainted so much by 14. Until A Realm Reborn came out and fixed that. But most of the Final Fantasy community haven't liked Final Fantasy as much since like Final Fantasy X. Now I know a lot of people that played up to 10 and then just stopped playing it, which is understandable. Final Fantasy changed, and now with Final Fantasy 15 having a new combat system and a lot of other new stuff which consumers may not like, and a lot of consumers are disappointed that it's moving away from the turn-based action and stuff like that. Me included, kinda. I was happy with it being a spin-off, but I don't mind it, it's not a big deal. Because like 14 isn't turn-based, and that is still, like, everyone still loves that game. It's the same for like 12 and 11, they weren't turn-based. The last proper good Final Fantasy turn-based game we got was 10, in my opinion. But if 15 flops, it will ruin the Final Fantasy franchise for consumers. I can guarantee that. It will be very hard for anyone to trust this franchise ever again, even if they release a traditional turn-based game for Final Fantasy 16. At least that's what I think. I think it will be really difficult for them to get back onto form, and the next game would have to be really good to win back the consumers' trust. Now, 15 is not looking bad, it's looking really good. It's looking to be the best Final Fantasy we've received in forever. So I'm not saying it will flop, and that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm thinking the game's going to succeed in, it's just going to give new life to Final Fantasy and bring new fans in, which is what we want. But there'll be major backlash for Square Enix if Final Fantasy 15 fails. Fans will not trust them, consumers will not trust them. They say they listen to fans, but if it fails, then this will prove to be wrong. Square Enix will hit major losses if this happens. In terms of, well, I mean losses like their reputation, money-wise, it could sell horribly if reviews come out horribly. But yeah, it will have major backlash for Square Enix, and like I said before, no one will be able to trust Final Fantasy after this. Like, it will be really difficult. I mean, even now, people find it difficult to think that 15 could be good, because we all know 13 wasn't a bad game, but it was linear. It was not what fans had expected. It was overhyped. And 14 came out, and we all know that story with the problems that game suffered. And it's just, hopefully Square Enix have definitely learned the lesson, and 15 will be good, fingers crossed. But even if 15 is just average, that will do damage to the franchise, because Final Fantasy is a major series in the gaming community, or gaming industry now. It is massive. It's one of the biggest RPGs on the planet. So it needs to be good. Now, I'm just going to talk about the possibility of this happening, of it failing or doing good. I think there's more of a possibility of it doing really well than it flopping. That's definitely for sure. But yeah, that's what I think on that. I think there's a large percentage that it will definitely succeed to please consumers, and it will breathe new life into this old franchise. That will definitely, I think that's definitely going to happen. I could be wrong. It could still fail, and I really hope it doesn't. The big kicker here is that no matter how bad 15 is, now me and Sai discussed this, or Leo-san discussed this in our collaboration video, and that is about possible sequels. The sad thing is, Square Enix will still bring out sequels for this series, even if it's bad, and we know this. No one asked for Lightning Returns, and we still got Lightning Returns because Square Enix didn't want to let Lightning's character die, and we all did. But no one asked for Final Fantasy 13-3, that's what I'm going to call it for now. And no one even asked for 13-2, to be fair. Everyone just wanted them to move on from 13. And the sad thing is they'll still make sequels for 15 even if it flops. And that's the sad truth about it. Now, what are my thoughts on this? My thoughts on Final Fantasy 15 failing? I really do hope it doesn't, because I'm looking forward to playing it. I mean, we've been waiting for this game for nearly a decade now. I've been following this game since it was announced as Versus 13. This is the last game in the Fabula Nova Crystallis, I think as they say it, saga of games, I do believe. I'll be really upset if this happens, and my faith in the Final Fantasy series or franchise will definitely be damaged if 15 fails to impress, really. Because we're expecting a lot from Square Enix now, but I do think they've learnt their lessons. They're doing the active time reports, they are listening to fans, so I think we're all good. I think it's going to be alright. But what do you guys think? Do you think Final Fantasy 15 could fail to impress gamers? And what are your thoughts on it if it does? Let me know in the comments below, and yeah, I'll speak to you guys later on.